Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to e-commerce growth meetup. If you guys are for the first time here, this is an event that we have started, I don't know, Arek, 2 years back? Something like
Yeah,
that,
I
right?
guess I guess so.
2 years back, the idea was to bring some hot e-commerce topics to people who are interested in e-commerce, who work in e-commerce, who lead e-commerces, and that's it. And this time, the hot topic that we brought up is loyalty programs. That's something that I think all of our clients are asking us about. And it was always something important, but recently I feel this topic is getting even more important. So this is gonna be the base of our today's event. And before I give the mic to the first speaker, let's quickly introduce ourselves. So my name is Ewa Wysocka. I'm head of Tribe 47, the company that is co-organizing these events.
Yeah, and I'm Arek. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sublime Analytics platform.
So just very briefly about us, Tribe 47 consults and executes growth for e-commerce businesses. Loyalty programs is just one area that we are helping with, but we help with all possible areas of e-commerce growth. And Sublime.
Yeah, and Sublime Analytics platform is like identifies growth opportunities for e-commerce and D2C businesses in Europe and the US, and we do that via data, via optimizing customer acquisition, customer retention, data activation.
And we collaborate on many projects where Tribe consults and executes, and we use Sublime system to
For
measure
measurement. Yeah.
and accelerate growth. So also big thank you to our partner Bloomreach, which is an cloud-based, future-ready e-commerce experience platform. We had a pleasure to be a part of Bloomreach implementation on one of the projects that we as Tribe 47 worked on in the last 2 years. And I think this is an amazing platform. I'm super happy that they actually helped us to promote and organize this event. And we're going to have here one of the experts from Bloomreach, which I'm also very excited about. Our other partners are Enjoy Growth, a growth newsletter, Founders, a company that actually gathers founders of different businesses, and Loyalty Roots, a company founded by Anastasia, who's going to be presenting to you right now and who specializes in building loyalty programs for different businesses, mostly e-commerces. So here is quick run through the agenda that we have for you today. So first we're gonna have Anastasia talking about the loyalty programs, where to start and what really matters. Probably the best loyalty program expert I had a chance to collaborate closer with. So I'm super happy that Anastasia gonna bring this knowledge to you. She also prepared some workshop stuff. So, this really matters that you guys are live here because there are going to be some interactive exercises during this session. So watch out for it. Then we're going to have Sarah Jane Bevis, who is this senior customer success manager from Bloomreach, so expert from Bloomreach that I have mentioned already. And she's going to talk about browsers to buyers to loyal customers, strategies to boost loyalty and repeat engagement. It's another expert in loyalty programs who before joining Bloomreach had a chance to implement many loyalty programs for different companies online and also hybrid. And finally, my thing, panel discussion. If you guys are here for the first time, we actually always finish this meeting with a panel discussion, and I'm leading these panel discussions because I love to lead panel discussions. And we're gonna have Robert Olędzki, who is a digital business director of PAYBACK Poland, which is actually a loyalty program/product, and Daniel Górny, loyalty program manager of Yes, which is one of the leading Polish, and not only Polish, jewelry brands. So luxury product loyalty programs, and also a topic of omni-channel because they are actually connecting offline and online. And finally, Sarah Jane Bevis that I have mentioned before. So I'm going to be asking these three experts really difficult questions. So hopefully you guys will stay till the end. And now I'm giving mic back to Anastasia. Thank you.
Bye. Have a great e-commerce growth session.
Yeah, enjoy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ewa. Thank you, Arek. All right, so I am presenting my screen. Okay. All right. So hope everything is working. So let's start. Today we're going to talk about loyalty programs, and at the beginning of today's session, we're going to discuss where to start and what really matters. Because, you know, loyalty program, it's a huge word, lots of different techniques, lots of solutions to implement such programs. But, you know, we'll not be able to cover everything in 25 minutes. So the goal of this particular session is for you to understand where to start. And once you find this right path for you, for your business, you will be all right. And the program will be great. So when I was preparing for today's presentation, I was thinking, you know, maybe let's start with understanding how loyalty program is different from loyalty strategy. I even prepared some slides and tables, you know, to give you guys some introduction theory, some methodology to start with. But then, to be honest, I figured, well, who is going to join today's session? So I was thinking about you guys. And, you know, I understand that today we have mostly two types of people during our session. Whether you're a marketer in whatever way, you're a digital expert, marketing automation expert, maybe you're responsible for content creation, so your job is related to marketing, or you're a founder, you're project manager, you're marketing director, so in some way you're responsible for your business grow. And you're thinking about loyalty program. It doesn't matter. If some of you will be at the very beginning of the journey, and some of you probably already have the program and find ways to improve it. But what we all with you have in common is, since you're already joined the session, I understand that you want to learn, you want to grow your business, but well, we're all busy. And even right now, I assume that you might get notifications from Slack, Teams, Messengers, whatever you use. And I understand that, but since we all are here, and the role is to actually enjoy and be able to gain knowledge later in our work, I decided to skip all of those theoretical knowledge, all of those tables and those very advanced slides, and I decided to play a game with you guys today. So, how we're going to play this game? As the great game begins with the introduction, ours as well, and for the next 20 minutes, I propose every one of you to become a loyalty program experts. Everyone on this call. And we have one customer, which is Fit Fuel. The name is absolutely imagined, it's not the real company. So we have the Fit Fuel e-commerce brand with healthy snacks and supplements. And today, as a team of loyalty program experts, we're going to analyze this case together, and our role with you will be to advise how to implement loyalty program for this customer. How are we going to do this? We're going to interact with each other. So right now on your screens, you should see the QR code. Please scan this QR code. If you've joined from your phones, that's also right. You will find the link on the chat. So whether follow the link on the chat or scan this QR code, I'll wait for a few seconds. Please join the session and we'll begin the game. So once you scan this QR code, quick intro. Don't click anywhere, don't do anything, just wait for me to change the slides. wait for me to move on. Just open it and wait for a few seconds. I will tell you exactly what to do and when. All right, I see that people are joining. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let's wait for a few more seconds because I see that lots of people are have joined us. That's wonderful. One thing from me, please don't overthink it. We'll have few questions appearing on the screens. Answer how you feel it. Everything will be anonymous. It's for you, so let's have fun. Don't take it too seriously. Okay. So let's start with the warm-up. Once again, if you don't see the QR, the link is in the chat. And you will have the small QR here on the screen as well. Okay, so as the warm-up, let's have this kind of question. What kind of online shopper are you? Choose your answer and please hit submit button so that we see who exactly we have on this call. And as you see, everything is anonymous. I will not come to you directly. So let's see who we have on the call. We have stalkers who browse everything by nothing. I understand this. We have strategists already who do the research, compare prices, but wait for the discounts. We have promo devils, all right, who are waiting for their discounts, and last minute panic buyers. Well, that's also happened to the best of ours. Okay, so guys, you see it's easy. The rules are quite easy. You will see such kind of questions on the screen, but of course those will be related to our loyalty program. And since we already know a little bit more about each other, so we have different loyalty strategies on this call, you differently see the prices, you differently see the way of shopping online. So let's start and go to our problem that we need to solve. Level 1. The FitFuel CEO comes to us, as we are loyalty experts, and tell us, our customers buy once, then they disappear. We want a loyalty program with points and discounts to keep our customers. This is our problem. Let's solve it. Okay, so let's move to the first question. What would you do? What will be your first step in this case? I'm going to open the submissions now. What would you prefer to do at the beginning? Analyze existing data, get feedback from customers, or launch a quick loyalty program MVP and test? What would you do? For those of you who are just joining, the link is on our chat and you see the small QR at the top of the screen so that you can join our game. All right, so let's see. We have different answers even for this first question. Great. Okay, so let me comment on this. Let's start from the end. Launch a quick loyalty program MVP and test. I understand this approach, and in lots of ways that might be the great solution because when you start quick, you test and you move really fast, which is wonderful. But at this point, you only hear the first problem. You don't know exactly what you're looking for. Even if you start with the MVP, you might not be sure what kind of data you need to look at, what are your results, what exactly even is your problem. It's not specified. So MVP and testing is great, but let's have some ground information first. Get feedback from the customers, absolutely. The only thing with that is that when you're getting feedback from your customers, you need to know which questions to ask. How will you be able to later on analyze the data that came from your customers? If you ask all of the different questions to all of your different customers, it will be a mess. You will have lots of different answers. So you need to have a structure. And how to get the structure before you ask the customers, it's actually analyzing existing data. Because this is something you already have. This is the quick look, the quick intro to the topic, and then you can move on. So I propose, and we have the winner answer here, start with analyzing existing data. Let's move on. Level number 2, the feed fuel data. So what we have here, now we know that most customers buy only once from feed fuel. However, we also know that customers are satisfied with products, huge satisfaction rate. But also we know that customers with more than 3 purchases become very loyal and they stay with feed fuel for years. All right? So we have those 3 components, those 3 important pieces of data. Now let's see what we can do with this. What is your move, guys? So we know that customers like the product. Most of the customers are, I'm launching the test now. Most of the customers are one-time buyers. And actually, once they make this 3rd purchase, they become really loyal and they stay with the brand. So we already have more insights on our feed fuel brand. So what we can do, we can invest, give discount for the 2nd and 3rd purchases. We can set reminders for those next purchases, or we can learn more about our customers. Okay, let's see. Remember, we have lots of different people here with different approach for shopping. All right. So, as we see, the winner is actually the first one, invest, give discount for the 2nd and 3rd purchases. So let's start from here. I see why this option actually won, and it might be the great approach. It might be the very accurate technique to use. If you go with the discount, you might invest some, some percentage of your margin, but then you already have this data that after the 3rd purchase, you assume the people will stay with the brand. That's understandable. The only question is to you guys, are you sure that this is actually the case, that the problem is with the price? Because this specific technique, it answers to the specific problem, and the problem for this technique is the pricing. So at this point, are we sure together with you that the pricing is the case here? We are not sure yet. Set reminders for the 2nd and 3rd purchases. Also, amazing thing to do, and honestly, I had lots of cases where I advised customers to go with such automatic reminders. But again, example of the cases where we advise to go with this is, for example, if the problem is with the habits. People like the product, they want to buy the product, but they just forget about it. Like they buy supplements, but they forget to take their supplements, and that's why they forget to buy the next to make the next purchases. Are we sure that the habits is actually the problem here? Because if we're choosing the option A or option B, those are techniques that answer specific problems. We don't know the problems yet. So yeah, I would go, if that was me, I would go with the option number C, which is learn more about the customers first, and then choose your techniques. So let's move on. I propose to move with this learn more about the customers. And now we reached the level number 3, the feed fuel customer persona. Let's meet Monica. Monica starts buying feed fuel because influencer recommended it. We've all been there. She doesn't have time for research and she needs better, quick and great results. But Monica stops buying from feed fuel because she started buying because she had the detox problem she wanted to solve. This problem of hers has already been solved, and she doesn't know at this point that feed fuel has other products to offer. And that's why she doesn't know that this company can solve her other problems. So she's satisfied with the product she bought at the beginning, but she doesn't know that the company has other things to offer and her other problems might be solved with this. All right, so we have a little bit more data. Let's move to our questions. I hope you're ready. For those of you who's just joined, link is in the comments and you will see it on the top of the presentation. Okay, So let's start. Feed Fuel successfully solves customers' problem. However, customers don't know that company can solve other problems as well. Let's choose all of the strategies that you think might help. You can choose different options here, guys. Feel free. Just again, don't overthink it. Anything that you feel might be relatable, might be helpful. We're talking about strategies, techniques to use. Choose all of them that you feel like might be accurate here. Whether it's educational campaign, automatic upsell and cross-sell campaigns, maybe assigning points for the purchases, adding product catalog to the first order, or building engaged community. So we have 15 more seconds, and then I will comment on this as well. So let's see. Yeah, I like it how many people we have here and that you're all engaged. So we're like a true loyalty team here. Okay, so let's analyze it. Let's start from the beginning. Educational campaign. Absolutely. I agree 100%. We have the case where there is a lack of knowledge. Let's solve it with some educational campaign in lots of different channels. Automatic upsell and cross-sell campaigns, we can include education in those upsell and cross-sell campaigns. So we can combine the sales, but do the sales through the education, definitely. Assigning points for purchases, absolutely, because you will engage, you will find more gamified way to give these actually the same knowledge, that, well, you as a customer, you, Monica, can go further with us. So definitely adding product catalog to the first order, which is actually moving a little bit to offline, let's call it this way, because if we know already that most of the customers make one purchase and they're satisfied with this, so once they get their purchase, they will see this catalog, this offline catalog, and they will know about the other products. Brilliant. Building engaged community. This might be not that obvious, but this is the technique, the technique that can allow you to solve those problems even without your further engagement, because if the community is engaged, they will talk to each other and they will help each other. You just need to, you of course need to moderate it, but this might be also the great way to approach this problem. So all of your answers are correct and great. And so let's summarize what we have here. At this point, we know about our strategy that we need to educate our customers on the problems that we can solve. We might start a community to engage and spread education, and we create the rewards mechanisms like points and stuff to motivate those customers to move to the next purchases. And this might be our strategy at this point. Okay, I hope you agree with me. And our final stage of the game. This is the, since we already have our brief strategy, we need to decide on the KPIs because, well, this is all about measurement. As actually Arik mentioned at the beginning, measurement is important. And now let's do this. How do you think? Which KPI might be the most important at this point to measure? So let's choose. I activated the test for you, the quiz for you guys. Once again, link is in the comments and you see the QR on the top of the screen if you've just joined. All right, so let's see. Feed Fuel's program's main KPI: loyalty points redemption, customer knowledge about the brand and products, or percentage of customers with more than one purchase. Okay, let's see. It seems like we have a total winner here, which is the percentage of customers with more than one purchase, and this is of course brilliant. But let's analyze, because we're here, we need to learn something here. So loyalty points redemption. This is the KPI, which is, I would say, the most, like, it's analyzed in every loyalty program where you use using points. And in some way, I might even think, it might be connected to the next purchases because, well, if you redeem your points, you probably buy some discounts or promotions to move to another purchases, which is true, but not specifically. You might redeem your point and not make a purchase. You might redeem your point for something else than a purchase. So it can't be the main KPI. It's something we analyze, of course, if we use this technique, but it's not the main KPI. Customer knowledge about the brand and product. This is definitely a good thing, but honestly speaking, it's a really hard thing to measure. The customer knowledge about the brand and products. We need to keep an eye on this, and we need to have this in mind every time we move forward with our strategy. But in terms of KPIs, you are definitely correct, and I agree with you 100%. We need to analyze the percentage of customers with more than one purchase. So let's take a look at what we've done with you today at our final strategy. And let me summarize for you what we've done. So the FitFuel CEO initial plan was to launch points and discount program immediately. Our strategic approach was to start with the data analysis and customer profile. And that's how we identified the root cause of this low retention. We understand actually why there is a low retention, and it's because of lack of knowledge and post-purchase guidance. The CEO plan initial was to focus on rewards and discounts. But our approach together with you, it's not mine, it's ours, is to focus on education, communication, and community. And together we designed a program that uses this high satisfaction rate. Remember, customers love the brand, so we need to use it and encourage others to join their knowledge, to join their satisfaction, and build this journey together. The initial plan was to treat loyalty as tactic. But what we've done with you, we built a loyalty as long-term relationship strategy that can increase retention, engagement, and customer lifetime value. And instead of launching quick MVP to test if points work, together with you, we launched the MVP of guidance for our customers on all of the different ways, on all of the different touch points of customer journey. We even moved to offline. And thanks to that, maybe it's the small MVP, but it's not the chaotic MVP. It's something that we have the clear path about, and based on that, we can build our roadmap. Since we know what is the problem, how our customers, what they want from us, then we start with something small and we can build lots of different techniques and features on that. And this is how we create the clear roadmap with you. So congratulations to all of you guys. This was, the really quick look of the process of how this thinking and decision-making process should look like when you're thinking about loyalty strategy, loyalty program. Because, brands, and I'm sure it's not about the logo, the website, the packaging itself. It's about the whole ecosystem. It's about habits, memories, and expectations, and how your customers feel about you, and most importantly, even how they feel about themselves with you and your brand. And loyalty is the heart that gives the power to all of the other activities that you do on different levels, whether it's packaging, whether it's something, the product catalog you put in your first order, or the offer that you send in the email. So this is the whole ecosystem around it. And one important remark at the end from my side is that today, by playing this game with you, we've analyzed one specific problem that loyalty program can solve, which is retention, and customer lifetime value. So we wanted this retention to grow. But believe me, loyalty programs can solve other challenges as well, like reactivate, maybe like data collection, customer reactivation, or something not obvious like channel shift. For example, recently we've done loyalty program for offline brands with lots of offline stores that use loyalty program and within their mobile app to switch from their customers from offline to online. So this also can be done with loyalty programs. So lots of different goals and even more loyalty program techniques that you can use and you see some of them, like those points that we all know about, but also gamification, like challenges, badges, the games like we've played, community, maybe partnership with other companies within your loyalty program as one ecosystem. So techniques are different, there are lots of them, but I encourage you guys to find your best technique for your loyalty program. This once you understand your customer, once you understand your problem, you will choose the best technique for yourself. So to finish my presentation with the last slide, I encourage you to get back to our game for one more second. The QR is here, the link is in the chat, and let's put one word that you remember from today's presentation and how you feel about loyalty. What is loyalty for you? Just few words, like one word, two words that you think about when it comes to loyalty. So loyalty is, what is it for you? Let's see. Loyalty is, I see you guys have you're typing, so let's see. Added value, connection, heart of sales, it's communication. Loyalty is about effective customer lifetime management. Okay, loyalty is a process. I love that. Loyalty is connection, it's customer engagement. Where there are lots of different, loyalty is identification, absolutely. It's convenience. Well, that's true, it's convenience, 100%. I'm with you here. So you see, all of us, we see loyalty in such like wide range of ways. And when I hear that loyalty program is about points, well, it's not. It's about your customers. It's about all of those things that we see on the screen. Take a look. It's not even my presentation. It's how you guys see the loyalty program. So loyalty is the heart of all of the other. It's a win-win relation. It's all of the it's the heart of your whole brand. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation, and I pass the mic to the next participant. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Jane and I am going to be sharing my presentation. Here we go. So welcome everyone, and what I absolutely love is that there's so many similarities between what I'm going to be talking about today and what Anastasia's already taken you through, and I absolutely love that because it really does show that we are coming through as a united, very linked up kind of view. So kind of just looking into the loyalty space and really like rethinking loyalty within the era of the customer. And what I want to help you do is understand and lean into some of the things that Anastasia's talked about how you can use those really key things to build a loyalty program and a loyalty customer journey that hits every single touch point, because it's not just that one area. So having a little look at, if you go back a few years and you look at customer loyalty, everyone was always about loyalty programs. And it was very much, you get a stamp, you earn your points, you redeem those points. Coffee is probably the easiest one to talk about because you would get a stamp, and then when you filled up the card you get a free coffee. But that's not how loyalty works anymore, and customer decisions aren't any longer linear. We've seen that a second ago with Anastasia's poll, where you've seen that so many different people buy in different ways, and the one thing that's really clear is that customers feel that there's 89% of customers aged between 18 and 29 that really redeem personalization is important. And that's the one thing that really does drive through the whole customer loyalty area, I guess. But outside of that, their decision processes are all different. So it's us as brands that need to make sure that we're being personalized to those customers to make sure that we're hitting the right conversation with them. And the consumer confidence really matters as well. When you're more personal, when you understand a customer, when you talk to them in their language and talk to them about the things that they like and they purchase, actually they become more economically secure and they start to become more brand loyal. And then on top of that, it really is about shifting the mindset of going from being very transactional, very revenue driven from a brand perspective, but actually flipping it on its head and making it more emotional, making it a much more connected process between yourself and your customers. And what we've actually seen is that emotional loyalty and that emotional attachment does actually drive 43% more business value. So it's a really, really great number to be focused on when you're thinking about loyalty and loyalty programs. And then just having a little look at some of the challenges that the customers face, the brands face with customers, is that there's an intense amount of competition out there. What you're selling, what you're purchasing, there's other brands that are doing the same. They're all competing for the same space, all competing for similar customers. So actually, how do we cut through that to make sure that it's your brand that they are looking at? And then also, a lot of brands have said that they really struggle with personalization. They're not quite sure what to do. They're not sure where to start, and they have a huge amount of lack of personalization. And then there's also those too many marketing messages, and it's not just often the brand that's sending out too many marketing messages, but it's everybody that you're competing with as well. If we all look at our emails these days, there are hundreds and hundreds of emails in our inbox, lots of them that we don't see. And then on top of that, the ISPs have started to decide what you should and shouldn't see. So there's a lot of stuff that you need to think about in the background to make sure that your emails sit at the very top of someone's inbox. But the marketer's view on loyalty is absolutely fundamentally changing. And so, as Anastasia was saying, it's not just a revenue driver anymore. It's about how do we look at all the things that a customer looks for in a brand and make sure that we pull that into the customer journey. How do we make it personalized? Customers will interact with us on various different channels. So it could be SMS, it could be email, it could be app, it could be online, it could be offline. So it's about bringing all those channels together so that you can build that trust and build that really linear customer experience for your customers in a really personalized way. And so, these brands are really thinking about treating loyalty like that growth leader, not just a retention tactic. They're really thinking about how to uniquely position their loyalty and their loyalty programs within their customer journeys, so it seems very different to what's going on outside in other competitors, in other businesses. And then just having a little look at the different stages, and this is just a really basic customer journey. There are so many more areas that you can branch in and out of, but this gives a really clear, really straightforward place to start. And the customer journey and loyalty within that customer journey, whether it is customer loyalty from an overarching perspective, or whether it's within a program, an actual loyalty program, it should touch every single area of that customer's journey. You're talking about welcoming them and teaching them about the benefits of the welcome program. You're also letting them know what they could save if they join the loyalty program, but then maybe educate them in a way that allows them to understand what they might have missed out on if they did turn down the loyalty program. But then it's also about getting them to actually use up their points, explaining to them that there is points expiry. How do we keep them coming back into the fold, using their points, earning more points? talking about things like anniversaries and birthdays. And one of the great companies that I love is Thoughtful. They do birthday cards, they do notebooks, they do pens. It's all of that kind of merchandise. And what they allow their customers to do is put in data to say when they've got families and friends' birthdays, anniversaries. They also look at the data and check when the last time they bought birthday cards or anniversary cards, so that they can then remind them that actually there's a birthday coming up, there's an anniversary coming up, do they need to buy something? And customers absolutely love that because they don't have to think about what's going on in their personal life while they're then also trying to work and do all the other things that they want to do. And then, as you can see, it's about getting those customers from that first to second purchase. Personalization and loyalty programs can really drive that forwards. And then you're taking them into that massive advocate area where they're starting to refer friends, they're sharing on their socials, and allowing your brand to get out there in a really fun and exciting way. And one of our personal clients is Popeyes. It's a fast food restaurant out of America, and they do Louisiana chicken, chips, all of that kind of stuff. And they've become extremely popular in the UK. What they've done is actually taken their in-restaurant data, so the customers that are coming into restaurant using their kiosks to order their food, and actually using that offline data and using that to power their online loyalty program. So now, as a loyalty customer, you could walk into their store and you can spin the wheel and you might get a little some extra chicken or some chips or something like that if you win. What they found is that more than 20% of their in-restaurant customers have become loyalty customers that weren't before. They've also seen a 3 times uplift in repeat purchases, and that's also driven 8% in increased revenue since implementing with Bloomreach and the loyalty program. So that's the little talk from me, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And I will pass to the next speaker.
Hello, guys. Thank you for the session, and we're coming very, very shortly. Just waiting for our panelist guests to arrive. We still have some time, so let's just wait until everyone gathers, and then we're gonna start our panel discussion shortly. So Ewa and Arek probably is going to be soon. So just give us some minutes. Let's indulge all the information that we've just gathered, and let's prepare for the round of questions that's going to appear on the expert panel. So see you in a few minutes.
Okay, so welcome everyone. We have finished earlier, which is a really interesting situation because it never happened during the EPM. So thanks, Sarah. That was a really good, quick presentation in such case. So in this case, we're starting the panel a bit earlier. I hope people who are with us will are here and are not prepping for the 11. So let me start by introducing our guests. We have with us today, let's start with the ladies. We've got Sarah Jane Bevis, a Senior Customer Success Manager from Bloomreach, who has worked on many different loyalty initiatives for brands like Odeon Cinemas, Royal Caribbean, TUI Travel, so lots of travel companies. And now she's helping Bloomreach clients create personalized experiences. And we have Robert Olędzki, Digital Business Director from PAYBACK Poland, with over 15 years of experience leading different loyalty projects across Europe. And right now, an expert in scalable, data-driven customer engagement. I had to write it down because this is always a bit of a tongue twister, but all the necessary and modern stuff related to customer engagement. And finally, we've got Daniel Górny, a loyalty program manager from Yes, which is one of the leading jewelry brands from Poland, who has before created loyalty programs for other jewelry brands and specializes in the omni-channel systems where he connects mobile apps with different retail and online sales. So I'm super excited for this panel discussion. And we've got more time, so I always try to fit it in 60 minutes. But who knows? Maybe this discussion will be so, energetic that we will take a little bit more time. We've got a little bit more time, so let's do it. First question that I wanted to ask everyone here is related to just recently all our clients who come to Tribe 47, where we are helping them with the growth strategies, everyone comes to us and like loyalty programs, like I want to implement loyalty programs. So, there's this one first obvious question. Is this really a strategy for every brand? How do you see it? Who would love to start? You guys are muted. Daniel is not.
I don't mind going first.
Yeah,
I think for me personally is that no, not all brands are ready for loyalty. I feel like they should be thought about. A lot of brands will jump on, and I've seen a few years ago where loyalty programs were the new big thing, and everyone would jump in and go, I've got to have a loyalty program, I've got to have a loyalty program. And it wasn't that it wasn't right for them. It was absolutely right for them. They just didn't think about what the process should be, what the reward program should be, who their customers really are, and understand what they need from a loyalty program. So if I take an example, we in the UK, I don't know, I think everyone's from lots of places around the world, but we have a company called Boots Chemist, which sell everything. They do pharmaceutical stuff, they do shampoo, conditioner, makeup, everything. And they started to do a reward program where you could recycle your product, your old empty bottles and mascara tubes and things like that. And when they looked at it, the program was immense. You didn't have to buy anything from Boots. You got £10 worth of points. And when you use Boots points, you can buy anything that Boots sells, whether it's online or offline. And they quickly found out that people were doing lots and lots of recycling, which was fantastic, but actually their points were just rising over and above what they could manage as a business. And so then they had to scale it back. So now you have to buy something for £10, you only get £5 worth of points, which for a business is brilliant because it's a lot more scalable and it's a lot more economical. They're not cannibalizing their business. However, from a consumer's perspective, they feel like they've gotten less for what they were getting. And so for me, I just think it takes loyalty programs absolutely can be for every brand, but you just have to think about what it should look like and how it should work.
Well, thanks for this perspective, but I want to push you a little bit, because you will always say like, okay, so it's for everyone, but not everyone is ready. I get this point. That was my second question, like what makes the brand ready for it? But I want to push you a little bit, maybe Robert and Daniel, like, are there some brands where maybe it doesn't make any sense to think about loyalty program?
Oh, it's hard for me to imagine a situation where a brand doesn't need a loyalty program. In every B2C and B2B industry, we have a limited number of customers who should bring us the highest possible profit. This is about customer loyalty, in my point of view.
Okay, Robert.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to do more for your customers, to care more about them, to offer them more value. So I think loyalty is a good idea. Probably not for everyone or not in every situation, but I think current focus on loyalty is closely connected with a macroeconomical situation. It's much more harder to get new customer and new user acquisition. It's harder. It's very costly. So focus moved from acquisition to retention, and maybe that's the one of the main reasons for popularity of loyalty activities, schemes, and so on. Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't push you to find any case because I was wondering, for example, about mattress sales or bed sales. Like there was even this famous company from United States a few times in the direct-to-consumer e-commerce that was producing mattresses. Then how often do you actually replace your mattress? And if this is really your only product, is there still a way to create a loyalty program around it? That's always in my head. Like, is this something that the brand should really focus on if their product is like purchased so rarely, right? Although maybe you, Daniel, can.
This is the case of jewelry brand.
Yes.
maybe not that rarely that matters, but a little bit.
Okay. So
I think it's
coming back
also
to what Sarah already started, like, so what do you think makes the company ready? So what are what is the moment when the brand should start thinking about loyalty programs? Like what should happen before, or, is it, very often us as Track 47, we work with brands that are starting out or brands who, for example, are opening a new channel as an e-commerce. And there's always a question like, should you plan this loyalty program from the very beginning, or there's some moment in the company or brand growth when, well, this is the right moment? Is it related to the number of customers or interactions or the popularity of a brand? Do you have like some way of really picking the right moment or choosing the right company that you think this should be a good strategy for?
Yeah, I mean, we had an interesting workshop some minutes ago, and that showed also one of the situation where the kind of loyalty could be one of the solution. Yeah, you are facing a very specific problem, and you can solve it in a different way. One of the solution could be loyalty. And I mean, yeah, the trigger for starting thinking about loyalty could be facing certain problems, yeah, a certain set of problems actually, because with loyalty you solve the problem of customers being anonymous, not having enough data or not correct data, not being able to communicate with them on a daily basis in a very personalized way. So there could be a lot of problems which can be solved by loyalty scheme. Yeah, so I think it all starts with the idea which kind of yeah, target or problem we want to address.
Daniel or Sarah, do you have a different perspective on the right moment?
I think there's also, and this sort of links back to the question you asked previously as well, especially around, like you say, mattresses, is that you don't have to have a loyalty program to have loyalty within your program. So for instance, like you were saying around how often do you buy a mattress? I look after extreme high brand, high end sofa company. And you're right, they buy a sofa once every 20 years, or they might buy more than one sofa if they've got enough rooms to put more than one sofa. But it's the loyalty side of that is really about driving that connection, helping them to look after that product. So there's loyalty within that, and customers, they drive information about, you know, who have they got in their household? Do they have dogs? Are they looking at moving house? And so I think loyalty programs are absolutely brilliant, and they are very useful to so many brands. But if there isn't that need for a loyalty program, like you say, a mattress company, for instance, then actually you've got that feeding in loyalty within your customer journey and understanding what customers are doing offline and online, what they're doing in all those other channels. You can still bring all of that together and still have a really cohesive customer journey that drives personalization and builds loyalty within the customer.
Any other perspective, Daniel, from your side?
Oh, I think that absolutely loyalty program is essential at every stage of brand development, right? And the sooner is the better to think about loyalty activities, and then we don't lose the potential of our first customers at the beginning. And however, as always, better late than never when it comes to loyalty activities.
But isn't it maybe like maybe some critical mass of clients is needed, or would you start it even with the first client that actually arrives to your e-commerce shop?
Every client matters, but of course, bigger database is so much better than smaller one, of course.
Is like the first year of an e-commerce existence a right time to actually start thinking about loyalty, or should they actually move it to the year 2 or year 3?
As I said, the sooner is the better.
Okay, so you guys will push it for the first stage. Okay, well.
Yeah, I also totally agree with Daniel. I mean, coming back to your previous question about the starting point, I mean, I came up with this problem approach, problem solving approach, but it could be also strategical decision, meaning we decide to sell our product with loyalty scheme. Because that's the differentiator for us, so that could be also one interesting strategical decision to start loyalty. But coming back to your example of mattress, I mean, maybe we have this perception loyalty is always connected with a very complicated scheme. There should be IT behind it, there should be kind of system behind it, and so on and so on. But as you mentioned before, loyalty is also, let's say, only communication. So in case of this mattress, maybe mailing after 1 month of usage, after 3 months of usage, and asking the customer how you feel about your new mattress, some tips and advices how to do something better with your mattress, and ideas, or how to sleep better. It's also kind of activity around loyalty. So it's not only about discounts, it's not only about miles, points, or whatever, but it's really about the relation with your customer. And I totally agree with Daniel. It should start with the first customer. It should be the decision. We want to care about our customer, even if we see them only once a year or only one in 5 years. Like in the case of mattress.
I like that you guys are actually extending this concept of loyalty and going beyond the point collections. and so-called like programs. But you know, in the e-commerce environment, when someone comes to me, for example, and they say like, I'm ready to build a loyalty program, they usually mean a program where a client collects something and it's related strictly to the post-purchase experience. I wanted to ask you, because you already started like broadening this concept, but you said that loyalty can also be an email that you send to the customer post-purchase to ask how they feel. But are there some other elements of the customer journey where the loyalty program also fits in? Like the user acquisition, or where does this loyalty concept really fit in? Is it only the post-purchase, or it's actually much broader?
In this strategy I use in the customer journey, the loyalty program adventure begins before the purchase, at the stage of our marketing. Yes Club is one of our key marketing arguments, that thanks to which our customers achieve discounts, communication, and practical benefits. A very important role before the purchase also belongs to our customers, our advisors, our customer teams, our customer advisors teams, our sales teams, whose task is to properly present all types of benefits in Yes Club to our customers.
Okay, so in your case, it's actually a conversion point.
Yes, the conversion is really important in our industry, because of high average transaction in our industry.
And do you have any data that you can share, for example, if the business really improved the moment when you started showcasing this loyalty program at the forefront of the customer communication? Or I know that it's difficult to maybe measure it because like the times change, but do you guys really see the power of it when it comes to conversion and getting new clients?
What kind of data exactly you mean?
That, for example, the moment you introduced it, the sales started accelerating, or you started acquiring more clients
Yes,
thanks to it.
we have great because we have two main brands, yes Jewelry and Verona brand, and Verona is fast growing, developing brand for other segment of our customers, and our first loyalty program in our organization was not Yes Club but Verona Club. And this, especially for Verona, for the youngest brand, the acceleration of our sales thanks to loyalty program was absolutely amazing, and the result was absolutely outstanding. And we have about 10% better sales on like for like POSs year to year. Yes, and increasing of sales was absolutely amazing.
So a really conversion tactic, not only the customer retention one. Really cool. Robert, can you actually explain to the viewers a bit about Payback, like what it does, how it works, and also would love to hear your perspective on how really loyalty fits into other steps of the customer journey.
Yeah, Payback is a multi-partner loyalty bonus system. So it means we are a loyalty scheme, we are a marketing platform and actually marketing agency. The whole thing is backed up with very detailed analytics, and everything is connected through one single currency. So you collect the same points at every partner, and you have also the possibility to redeem the same points of the same value at every partner. Yeah? So it's quite big scheme, which allows our partners to get in a closer relationship with their users. That's the main rule of the program.
And like looking from this perspective, like working with so many brands through Payback, do you see that it fits into other elements of the customer journey a part of this post-purchase?
Yeah, of course. We are helping in the user acquisition. That's the first entry point. Let's call it like this. We help in this post-purchase environment, and also reactivation, prevention of churn. So very, very different areas depending on the industry we are working and the current situation of the partner, their strategy actually. Yeah? So we are not independent. We are actually becoming also part of the strategy of a very specific partner.
Great. And Sarah, like you had so many travel-related cases in your career, but probably also others. Like, have you seen loyalty programs playing a role at the different stages of customer experience, a part of the post-purchase and maybe acquisition? Robert mentioned reactivation, which is also an interesting part of the user experience. Yeah, that's like I know some brands that actually can only grow due to reactivation because of the market size and there's no more customers they can really acquire. They have to reacquire those that have already dropped, right? So that's really cool, good point. But are there any other aspects, any other things that come to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, within Bloomreach, we actually allow our customers. We have the facility for our customers to be able to go out and look for lookalike customers. So it could be that, again, if we take the example that I explained with Popeyes, they could actually take their data and go and look for lookalike customers that are already part of the loyalty scheme, and actually target those customers with information about the loyalty scheme that they have. And that's actually going to help their acquisition, because they're not only using that tool to be really specific of the types of people that they're looking for, but they're also able to show up with the loyalty program information. So people may very well sign up previous to making that first purchase, and then sort of be like, oh, actually look, there's there's Popeyes, let's go in there, we've got our loyalty already. And when you get in there, it's interaction. There's those gamification, like Anastasia was talking about, spin the wheel and win a prize. So I think there is definitely an opportunity to acquire customers through loyalty, and being able to explain the types of really great offers that they've got. Making a loyalty program easy to understand and easy to use is really, really key, because again, you're going to acquire more customers if it's a brand that they're interested in, but also if it's an easy to understand program. And then a little bit like Robert was saying, Heathrow Airport have got a loyalty platform or a loyalty program. And for them, it's all about different brands. So if you're booking your hotel on the airport site, they have they can earn points for that, but then they can also earn points for their car parking, or earn points off of buying or pre-ordering their food. And so there's loads of different brands that are having to bring into that loyalty program, but then they're also having that opportunity where you can go and use the points or use the rewards in different places. So you may have earned your rewards from staying in the hotel overnight, but actually the next time you come along, you want to redeem it on car parking. So, there's lots and lots of different types of loyalty programs, that some of them are very linear. They're very much like you buy a product and there's different rewards. There's lots of other, things like Heathrow Airport. And then somewhere in the middle, you've got Vitality, which is a health program where they do lots of gamification and you can win rewards. But within kind of the travel industry, so many customers, I feel like travel is very poignant for loyalty, because if you think about when you buy a holiday, you've got a 30 to 60 day purchasing window. That's roughly the customer's purchasing window. As a brand, you want to shorten that. How do you make that quicker? How do you drive them to the right conversation, and actually having that personalization, understanding the customer better, being able to serve them up the right type of content. And then if you've got a loyalty program on top of that, it just puts the cherry on the cake, because those are big purchases, which means you're going to earn rewards quicker. They're going to be things that you're excited about. You know, I talked about boots earlier. I could go and buy a bottle of shampoo. Yay, brilliant. I've saved myself some money. But if you're sitting there in a holiday going, oh my God, we've got this amazing holiday, but we've got enough points to go and have a restaurant meal or have an upgrade on the flight or something like that. It's that excitement, I think, when it comes to the travel industry.
I'm this typical customer who only collects the miles. So that's the only loyalty program that I'm in. Sorry, Daniel, and sorry, Robert, that I'm not using others. Probably like I'm trying to limit my consumption as well. So maybe that's, you know,
There's a stat out there to say that most people have 13.5 loyalty cards within their mobile phone or wallet. I can guarantee you right now, the last time I checked mine was 37.
Wow.
So I will take, I can do what you're not, so it's fine.
That's good. Well, you're the expert. You should use what you're expert in, okay? Like, I mean, I buy a lot of things online though. If I buy things, I buy them online actually, because I'm in e-commerce, and maybe that makes sense. Okay, I think that brings me to the next question. I want to talk with you about the design of the loyalty programs. Like Sarah already started. I love the examples. I think people always learn the most through the examples. But what were your biggest lessons? It can be positive and negative lessons. I actually like the, you know, lessons of mistakes, because they always bring some you know, interesting insights. Lessons from designing loyalty programs.
Oh, the absolute biggest key to success is focusing on continuous gratification, because customers need to know that our program will provide them with benefits at every stage of their contact with the brand. And many brands focusing only on the gratification only now, and a lot of especially from petrol industry, focusing on so far gratifications, and the key is to focusing on continuous gratification, as I said.
Can you give an example? Like, what is the continuous gratification?
Example is the Yes Club, of course. It's a program which is concentrating on first deal, yes, because we have free discounts what you can choose, and the mechanism called Choose Your Benefit after registration, and this is our first deal to our customers. And after this, we have a so-called timeline challenge. You can collecting points and achieving new discounts and other gratifications from our loyalty program. And we have a lot of surprises also for our customers, and special offers for our VIPs.
Okay, so lots of different things for different activities. Great, good insight to focus on the continuation, not on the here and now only. Any other lessons, Sarah or Robert, from designing the loyalty program in the way that, of course, it generates success, not the opposite?
I would say it's always good to test new things, new ideas, and because behind this experience there are a lot of kind of surprising outcomes. One of the surprises we faced in the last months was the case of our partner from the fashion sector who approached us with the ask, can you do something to reduce my return rates? So no customer acquisition, no post-purchase activities, reduction of of returns, which is huge problem for fashion. Yeah.
Fashion,
And we started a really small action. So again, not a big scheme, tiers and so whatsoever, but really a small communication. And with a relatively low incentive, we were able to reduce this return rates. The customer was very satisfied and also a bit surprised by that. So we would never kind of start loyalty activities with this goal to reduce returns. Yeah, but it seems that it works also in this area. It can influence also customer behavior also in this very specific situation. Yeah, so I'd say testing, and there will be for sure some interesting and maybe even surprising results.
Sarah, any other insights, like some lessons from designing? Maybe, like you already started talking about it, like there are some elements that companies need to prepare before they even start designing. So, my lesson, my recent lesson, I know I'm a moderator, but I sometimes like to throw my 3 cents, was that my latest conversation about loyalty programs, of course, I wasn't alone. I was with Anastasia, so don't worry, I'm not an expert here, but I was trying to get more information from the potential customer. It actually turned up that their technology is totally not ready. So basically, they're not really, they're not analyzing nor even collecting properly the customer data. They have them, but not maybe no consents properly collected, and not even a very basic marketing automation sequences in place. And we were talking about a quite complex loyalty program idea. So that was my thinking, like, wow, that's not the right time, for example, for that company. But also, we're starting from the idea of a loyalty program where we should probably start from the, very basic stuff. That was my case, but I'm sure, Sarah, working with Bloomreach, you have more of such.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. For me personally, I think research. Also, what does your database look like? How do you know what your database is? Do you understand who your customers are and what they're doing? Because that's going to start to fundamentally drive what you want to do with your loyalty program. And then it's a case of what do you actually have budget for when it comes to, like Daniel was saying, that instant gratification. So, again, a little bit like Daniel, I've worked with car companies that do company cars, and they give discounts off of certain products within a garage or a petrol station, whether it's the food, the drink, or whether it's petrol, oil, that kind of thing, servicing. But then, depending on that, is also, do you have the time, the energy, and the teams to be able to source those kinds of instant gratification, or do you need a company to help you? And I feel like, there's company, Tribe 47 is able to help a customer with that, right? You've got the expertise to be able to help the businesses to drive those sorts of things forward. So definitely research, understand. As Robert was saying, test, be willing to make mistakes, be willing to change, and just see how it goes, I guess. But I mean, I really like, I love those where you can spin a wheel and win something, or you get something every week. So for instance, does your loyalty program give you a free coffee every week, or does your loyalty program allow you to play a game where you could win extra rewards? There is a phone company that I'm not as keen on because I've never won anything, and I've been with them for 3 years, and I always play the spin the wheel, and I always get better luck next time, and I'm like, it's a packet of sweets. So again, I think you have to be conscious of, especially when they're small rewards, people expect to be able to win now and again. They don't expect to win the big holidays or the big cars. They'll still enter, and you might get lucky, but when it's a smaller piece of gratification and you still don't win, I feel like that's going to turn customers off. So being mindful of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I see already from this conversation that there are probably like 2 or 3 types of users, right? One is like Sarah, who has like 37 loyalty programs in her mobile. There's the second one, like Eva, who has only like on Miles and More, and there is basically probably some average customer who has something, maybe a couple of loyalty programs. Now, how do you decide on the reward structure that really maximizes this engagement? So probably for some users, any reward system will make sense because they just like loyalty programs. But there is probably like this kind of a middle customer who will be a little bit, let's say, picky, right? That there will be some things that they will take part in, some things they not. Like you already said that you need to test, but are there some other things, I don't know, like some research or any other hacks that you use to really make sure that when you design the program, the people will get engaged? I mean, I've seen programs already in my career where the company invested a lot of money, but people were not engaged in the program. I mean, I've seen it, and I will not mention the brands, obviously, but these were big companies, right? And this program was totally not in use.
I don't know whether this is out of order to say this, but I think those brands probably looked at loyalty as a revenue tool and didn't understand their customer. Because if you understand your customer, if you ask your customer questions, you can put web layers on your website asking them certain questions that's going to drive information for you to understand your customer better and then be able to put out the right type of program. I think if brands have put something out there and they're just not interacting and they're not using it and it's been a bit of a waste of money, I would say they've probably thought revenue for the business first.
Yes, when it comes to reward structure, first of all, the customer life cycle in a given industry should be analyzed, especially when it comes to like in our case, in so-called timeline challenge. It's really important. Such a challenge in the grocery, for instance, in the grocery industry, lasts an average of a month, and in the jewelry industry, it's a year. Yes, actions must be adapted to the RFM analysis in every given industry, and RFM, of course, stands for recency, frequency, and monetary. Yes, and in addition, the rewards must be attractive enough. Yes, and in line with the customer's engagement.
Well, Sarah disappeared for me. I hope she's gonna be back. Something with her internet, let's see. Robert, anything about the reward systems and how to, okay, she's back, good.
Yeah, I totally agree with Sarah and with Daniel. This customer lifecycle system should be analyzed. In our case, it's a bit complicated because we are multi-partners, so different cycles, and of course also millions of customers. So we try to combine this long time perspective, meaning offering significant rewards where the customer have to collect points for weeks or months. Because they want to be rewarded in this way, something which stays in their memory. Also, this psychological effect of collecting makes the loyalty interesting for them. But also combine this part of rewards with kind of instant reward, which is available even after first purchase. If you collected already your first 300 points, so maybe a grocery transaction, and you get your first 300 points, and you are already able to redeem them into something small, which brings you in this redemption perspective. So both words, interesting combination. How to combine them? How to test what is attractive to the customer on both sides of this line. So again, the testing and hearing into the customer needs. would say.
Any other, for example, really interesting, Sarah, you already mentioned a couple of interesting reward structures, but maybe something else comes to your mind, like any of you guys, like some interesting reward structures, maybe something that goes beyond discounts, because that's always the question that, you know, the latest case like we had as well, someone came to us. Their problem was that they actually can't give discounts. It's a marketplace and they already have a very small margin on the transaction. So they have to think beyond the discounts, because if they will start giving discounts continuously to the clients, they're gonna really cut the margin that, you know, is related to the products that they sell on the marketplace. So what then? Like what's the best way to really design the loyalty program in such case, when, you know, the discounts is a no-no, and throwing in freebies from your own offer, it's also a no-no in their case.
I think two of the examples that I can find is companies like Strava. They don't sell anything, but it's all about the connection. It's all about competing against your group of friends. To Apple do the same thing with their watches and their activity, so you can actually have competitions and you can earn badges and things like that. So it's more around community, because they don't sell it, you know, Strava don't sell anything. And then the other one is, you're absolutely right, in the sense of like the marketplace, you've also got those very high-end brands like Chanel, like Yves Saint Laurent. They can't give discounts, they don't give discounts, it's not within their type of product offering. But what they do have is they might have I know what one high-end store, they've got a barber's. So again, they will give maybe a free haircut, or they'll do a champagne arrival, or they do personal shopping, personalization. Nike do personalization. You know, you could use points to have personalized trainers, you know, your name written on them, your favorite number, whatever it might be. And then also having that connection of being able to contact a personal shopper online as well. So you don't have to go in store, you can actually have a conversation with them online, and they help you to then buy the right product for you. So I think there's a lot of differentiators in loyalty for those two examples for me.
Yeah, I like these examples, because that's where sometimes you have to be really creative, right? In some cases, I think the marketplace for me is always the most difficult, interesting, I mean, broad case. But I know, like in a lot of marketplaces, the actual reward system or loyalty program is something that customers pay for, right? Because they're based on the subscription that you pay. It's like very small, but it opens up a chance to, for example, get like free shippings, or that's like this classic Amazon case, right? Did you have experiences with such programs? And like, what's your take on it? Does it is it easy? Like, what has to happen for the customer to actually pay extra for the loyalty program to be in place?
I actually sold the Odeon Cinema loyalty card. So we had 3 different loyalty cards. You didn't have to buy one, but you didn't get any preloaded rewards. And then if you paid £10, you would get a certain amount of preloaded rewards. If you paid £20 for it, you would get £20 worth of preloaded rewards. And it was only a one-off payment, so it wasn't like Amazon where you would pay every year for those same rewards. But this was, gosh, like 20 years ago, so it was quite a long time. But I essentially, and where I say don't put a loyalty program in for revenue basis on from the business side, that's exactly what I did. I had to make a certain amount of money. I had to make 65 grand in 6 months. And that's the way I did it, and I hit the target within 3 months. But that's what I did. I sold the loyalty program.
Well, that's a good marketing, basically strategy. I mean, every marketer would do it. But okay, but you guys say don't do loyalty program with revenue goal in mind. But in the end, e-commerce is about revenue generation, right? So what is the goal? Like, what should be the KPIs for the loyalty program that you would put in place?
When it comes to KPI, I'm using many different KPIs, such as share of loyalty cash flow when it comes to value of our transactions, percentage share of percentage of our loyalty transactions in general. Of course, loyalty uplift, which is a difference between average transaction and loyalty transaction, and amount of first transactions, share of second transactions and next transactions, and of course margin in loyalty program and outside the loyalty program.
So it's about revenue, no?
Yeah, I think it's definitely about revenue. I think it just shouldn't be the only driver. If you have the only driver and that main goal is, or that one and only goal is, but getting revenue, that's where you fall down. I think, you're absolutely right. It has to be about revenue. You have to be able to prove that your loyalty program is bringing in money because it costs money to run. But like, all the things that Daniel said, has the AOV of the customer, that average order value, gone up on loyal customers versus non-loyal customers? And that opens up a really interesting case of how do you then convert more customers that are non-loyal customers into that loyalty space to then drive up their AOV.
Robert, any other KPIs?
Yeah,
I still
to,
think it's about revenue, but you guys are convincing me that not, but in the end, yes.
Uh, I mean, I totally agree. It should be about revenue, but that's the user perspective, business perspective, that you measure the frequency, if there's an increase, if there's an incrementality, a big word in loyalty schemes, if the average basket is growing. But there are also a bunch of KPIs which are closely connected with the loyalty scheme, like redemption rate, if you're throwing the points, or giving the points out, better said, are they used or not, what happens with the customer after the redemption, first, second, and so on? Is there increased activity after the redemption, of the redemption was the last time we saw him or her, which would be not really nice case, or that would be my take on that, But coming back to your previous question, what to do when the margin are small, I have one example in my head. I'm totally convinced of this program, Duolingo app, this language app. No, only non-transactional activities there, and huge loyalty gamification scheme around it. Very funny, addressing not directly business-related activities, but touching this emotional, psychological values and needs of the users. So I think even for companies which do not have so much kind of money to invest in loyalty, there is a way, there is a way for sure to be present in loyalty, to care about the customer, to get in the deeper relationship with them.
I would just sum it up a little bit that it's about revenue, but it's about revenue from the loyal customer base, right? Which is always a better revenue than the one from new ones, right? Because for the one from new ones, you pay and you have a limited chance to control, right? This customer acquisition cost, especially nowadays. That's probably why everyone is so crazy about loyalty programs now. But loyalty programs are also not a free thing, right? You have to build it, and that's where I think the big challenge for companies is. It's like how to build it, and the big question is the technology. And I've seen where the cost of building the good loyalty program was looking like as a pretty big investment for the company. Now, are there some maybe tips and hacks from your side where you can work with technology or make smart technology choices when actually building your e-commerce, where this loyalty program implementation might not be such a huge cost? Like, what's your take on technology costs? Just this kind of technical side of loyalty program building.
Technology plays a huge role. It's very important these days that the programs works in the real time without any lags and migrations after midnight and so on. Yes, migration of data, of course. And true personalization based on true needs is also very important. We still have a lot of programs based on not on true needs, but on needs created by brands. Yes, by marketing department, by sales department, product department, and so on, but not by real, not on real needs of customers. And as for really made boxed solution for small organization, they are absolutely fine. Yes.
Do you have some recommendation, like any solutions? Like it's not for maybe promotion.
For which brand? For which brand?
For brands from your category, let's say fashion.
Yes, when it comes to retail sector, when you have your own e-commerce and more than 50 stores across country like Poland, I absolutely recommending using loyalty engines, so-called, like Sparta Loyalty, like Loyalty Point, and maybe Salesforce to implement a great solution for with great CRM system and implement both into e-commerce and POS system.
Okay, cool. And Sarah, like because Bloomreach doesn't have its own, I think, loyalty program element, or correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys support different programs and you're a good platform to base it on, right? So would love to hear your perspective.
So our platform can, obviously holds data and understands that data, and you can send out your campaigns through that the platform. But we do actually have a basic element of loyalty program, so you can put people in tiers and reward them. So I think, like you say, yes, loyalty can cost a huge amount. It depends on how far you want to go with it or how big your business is, to depend on what your outcome is. So, you could use a platform like Bloomreach, and we can put in a basic loyalty program. Our customers don't even need to use the loyalty section of the platform. They can understand their customers and drive loyalty without a loyalty program. So if you are a small business and you don't have the funds or the teams to drive a really big program like, a Nectar or, a Boots or whoever, Nike, you can still drive loyalty, and that's going to help you to understand your customer better. It's going to help you to retain your customers because you're using really strong personalization within the platform that you're using. And then once you get to a certain point, you can start to think about companies like Antavo, for instance, who own a platform that is literally to drive loyalty. It is a loyalty platform company, and they link to companies like Bloomreach all the time, where you can then start to connect all of those third parties together and drive a really strong, large loyalty program.
And Robert, can PAYBACK be this kind of a shortcut solution for some brands?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for smaller brands, I would again start with this trials test and doing, asking the question, can I do it in a different way? Not to start to build something big, connect to something big, but really try to solve the problem, answer the question in a different way, like the communication, like sending emails. Let's say like this. In case of PAYBACK, we are specialists on bigger companies. In case of smaller brands, especially e-commerce, we offer affiliate model. So we support companies in generating additional transaction, growing average basket frequency. Acquiring new customers, but it's a bit different to the main product we are offering for the bigger companies.
Cool. Any other recommendations on the technology or how to approach building it from scratch?
Oh, I want to add something to Robert's words, because you can be part of PAYBACK, for instance, and have your own loyalty program, and
Yeah.
it also can be a great idea, of course.
Yeah, you can totally connect it. Yeah, that's cool.
So combining the benefits of two schemes,
Absolutely.
so you have
I'm a supporter of solutions like this.
you have your own program with your own strategic goals, with your own currency and segmentations and everything, but you are using the power of coalition, of connecting to other partners, and also to the connection to our platform. That could be also the answer to our first question, what to do in case of this mattress shop, with low frequency. You can create always something on, but connecting to something bigger, meaning coalition of other partners with higher frequency, could be one of the ways.
Yeah, just adding this chance to really connect you to other brands, right? Maybe you don't need mattress, but you can, through the mattress, you can get access to
Of course.
pillows or furniture, or I don't know, other things like cosmetics that you use daily. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Okay, we're reaching a little bit the end of this conversation, and I have like the last two questions that are more about a little bit about the future and a little bit about the past. So, do you want to start with the future or with the past?
The future.
Future. Okay. So, how do you guys see the evolution? Like, what gonna be the future of building loyalty programs? Like, what do you think? What's there? AI is there, of course, but I don't know. Does it really play a role, or what do you think? What's gonna be the next steps for the loyalty
Um,
programs?
Of course, AI is the future, but at the current stage of the development of loyalty programs, AI is most useful at the data analysis stage, yes. And in my opinion, the decision-making process itself should be still on the human side, yes. And I'm not afraid yet that I could be replaced by the AI model as a loyalty program manager. But of course, AI will play a more significant role in the future.
Robert, Sarah?
But I mean, AI will be for sure a game changer. I mean, it will lower probably the entry level for all loyalty activities. I mean, there's interesting potential, probably not mass potential in cryptocurrencies. That's also interesting direction. Hard to assess how it ends. But paid membership, we spoke about it. I think super interesting, especially in Poland, not super known idea or broadly used idea. I would say there's power in a system, in a community. So connecting users and building communities around products, around services is for sure a good idea.
I like
And
that, but
on
that's not easy.
Yeah. I know. But there are a lot of benefits behind it. Yeah, and on the other side, on the B2B side, connecting with other. Yeah, so in form of, as we do, like this coalition, but also kind of connecting with 1-2 other companies, being active in different categories in different industries. Brings you this advantage of kind of filling the gaps of frequency and using their marketing powers, their insights, and so on, so that you have more knowledge about your customer from these companies, but also better possibilities to approach them, to connect with them, and to offer more value for them. Yeah.
And Sarah, any notes on the future?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I definitely agree with Daniel and Robert that AI is going to play a huge part. Within Bloomreach, you can already, as Daniel was saying, analyze your data so that it can make meaningful decisions for you. But then on top of that, the actual campaign building is also something that you can then start to ask AI to help you with. So for me, I think it's going to, a lot of people, like you say, some people are sitting there scared going, oh my God, it's going to take away my job. I'm not going to have a job. What it's actually, I feel, and our CEO says this all the time, is that when the internet first came out, everyone was panicking going, oh my God, my job is going to be obsolete. We still have a huge amount of roles. Yes, those roles have changed. Yes, they've become different. People have gone and diversified into different roles. But I do believe that AI is going to bring lots of opportunity. For our industry personally, it's allowing our customers to be able to go, all the things that used to take up time, I'd sit there and write my own scenarios, build the links and the buttons and all the rest, build the emails. Now I can ask the platform to do that, and what I'm thinking about is more strategy, more understanding what the analytics is telling me, so that I can make more meaningful decisions against what my customers want, against how I can drive more revenue. And actually, it's getting rid of the boring stuff of people's jobs and allowing them to be more creative and use the careers and the qualifications that they've built and worked so hard for in such a more meaningful way.
Thank you. And the last question is like a little bit personal question. You guys can share or decide not to, but if you could change something about your loyalty program journey and, you know, move yourself back in time and start over in the loyalty program area, what would you change? Maybe something about your approach, maybe something about the skills that you have collected, or maybe some of your belief systems around this idea. Like, if you could take yourself back to the beginning of your journey with loyalty, like, would you change something?
Maybe better self-esteem and more belief in myself.
Okay, that you can do it, right? So a little bit about this experimentation approach. Robert, Sarah?
I think for me, I sort of fell into loyalty. I was working as a marketing executive at Odeon Cinemas. Actually, I'd gone for the role and it sparked an interest because they said they wanted to bring in this loyalty program. And I think for me, I wish I'd taken it a little bit more seriously, in the sense of I didn't really know what it was. I didn't really understand it. I had to start from scratch. My knowledge was starting from scratch. And I sort of feel like if I'd thought about how I can educate myself more in loyalty, then actually I'd be able to drive even more around that. Look, I don't think I expected it to be so big.
Cool. Robert?
Yeah, well, I would probably more focus on this emotional, psychological side of loyalty. Yeah, because that's actually the driver. We cannot measure it properly. We cannot drive a very certain conclusion out of it, but there's the magic behind it. Yeah, we see the numbers. We are very often. I was very often concentrate on this monetary value of these KPIs and ROIs and whatsoever. but actually this emotional, psychological side of why the customers decide to be with us, stay with us, do something with us, it's super important. And doing more of this, or concentrate more on this area, I'd say be very beneficial.
Wow, I love these answers actually. I was worried if you guys would want to share, and that was really powerful. Thank you. So thank you for this panel. It was really interesting for me. Loyalty program is not my core skill in e-commerce. Hopefully we're surrounded by some experts, but I have definitely learned a lot today. We had a conversation about different loyalty programs. There was tons of examples that you guys shared from the brands that you work with, like PAYBACK or Yes. But Sarah, you throw so many different ideas from the from cinema industry, from travel industry, from Strava. We had Duolingo, a lot of really cool ideas, and I like it because one of your biggest conclusions was that you need to approach loyalty programs with some courage and with some experimentation mindset, because you need to try different things and you need to really look into what the customers want. And without understanding your customers and understanding your customer journey, really, how do they behave? How do they purchase the product, your brand? It's very difficult to design a good program. And you also showed that it can play a role on different steps of the customer journey, and not just post-purchase conversion. You spoke about the like using loyalty program to prevent the return rates. I think Robert mentioned this interesting idea. Then Sarah spoke about using loyalty also for like at the beginning, or connecting one brand to another. So there's many ways you can use the loyalty program on different steps, but you need to understand the customer, and you need to understand their psychological triggers, and also how they like to spend the money, with your brand and with the different brands that are really kind of connected to the main idea. And of course, I drilled you a little bit on the idea of loyalty program is for the revenue growth. And I think we all agree that the revenue aspect is important. It's just that a loyalty program should be about building this revenue through the customers who are coming back. And to measure loyalty, there's some steps before. And these steps are connected to how willing are people to participate, and how willing are people to redeem the points or whatever else they get through loyalty programs. So this engagement is super important, and through the engagement you can drive the revenue. And as Daniel said, like your KPI can be how many customers from the general block of customers are coming from the loyalty program and using the loyalty program related tools to purchase the product. So I really love the conversation. I'll look through the transcript and try to take even more insights. I will be publishing it. And thank you so much for this conversation. Definitely hot, important topic. AI is important, but loyalty programs are also important, and these two worlds are also interconnecting and making the whole idea easier for the brands. So for everyone watching, join the loyalty revolution. It's already happening, and definitely build it for your brand, and build it fast. Everyone said like better to build it from the start. So okay, I'm taking this advice, and for my customers too. So thank you, and see
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Bye guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.